mic. There we go. All right, so now you guys can hear me. Yep. So hey, first problem. We solved it. You guys can hear me, right? All right, good. What's up, guys? All right, so again, you didn't hear me what I was saying, but essentially what the point of this is on these Sunday night streams, I'd like to start having some guests on, right? And I'd like to start talking to some people who in the toy community or just in the community general, who have experience with Warhammer. And I'd like to talk about their experiences specifically. Like we'll pick a subject. Say Shane. Shane is a big Warhammer fan, way longer than I am. And then, oh, he is muted. Let me see how it is muted. Let me see. Let me see. Say something, Shane. Let's jump over to. Let's try this one. All right. And say something, Shane. Can you guys hear Shane? Same times muted still. Dude, I know. All right, so he's still. Damn it, he's still muted. Why is he still muted? Is it because I don't have an audio source for this? It should be coming out of corn. No, he's not muted on his end because I can hear him. No, it's because of how the audio source is working. Let me go back to. Oh, let's go back to here. And yeah, the great heads. What is that actually? Oh shit. That's cool, dude. Those are awesome, dude. Let me see. So let me look at my audio. System. Oh, here's it. Browser set up. Let's see if I switch to. There might be a shared audio thing for you to turn on for streaming. That's what I thought too. Let me see. I can switch on Xbox to stream via there. Yeah, I'm not seeing his sound come out of the speakers, which is weird because it should be sharing what I'm speaking, what I'm hearing. Damn it. Let's sync on the thing. Damn it. I don't want to have to do this. We might have to go over Streamlabs to finish this. I don't want to do that. And I could just share the source to Streamlabs. Yes. Say something, Shane. Discord call goes through to there, so it's so weird. Let me. I'm just trying to see if you're saying something. Sync on the thing. Damn it. I don't. Yeah, still the same thing. So annoying. Well, this is why we're doing this. go. Hold on. This might be it. So speakers. Full input. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go back to the original settings. Go ahead and say something, Shane. No, now I lost you completely from my side, so that's not correct. Bear with me, guys. All right, so it's not here, so it's headphones. Yeah, so you're back there. What if you mute on that video call and have him on a Discord call for audio? I could do that. Yeah, I could just, I would think that would work because it would come through. The browser is not coming through. That's what I think the problem is. Oh, wait a second here. Is the browser even turned on? Hold on, just give me a sec here. Oh, got a deck. Damn it. There we go. Browser's back. Yeah, what I'm probably gonna have to do is I'll call you on Discord. You have a Discord name right now, right? Do you have Discord loaded on your phone? Okay. I'm gonna call you Discord. Message me. Actually, you messaged me before your Discord on Instagram. Yeah, I'm gonna call you on Discord, and then we'll pick it up from there, and then we'll use the audio from there. Cool. Perfect. All right, let's switch over. All right, so I'm gonna call him on Discord and see if that works. See, this is why I didn't really advertise I was gonna have somebody on, because I knew that this was gonna be an issue. Not an issue, it's just something I have to figure out for the first time, so I apologize, guys. Let's do this. And then we're going to call Shane right now on Discord. And then it should be working. There we go. Games on toys. Let's find him. There we go. No. At least that music's on in the background. Yeah, I agree with you, T3. Like, the big thing is just getting this, because I don't want to use StreamYards. I want to use OBS. And so it's just a learning experience with getting this stuff set up. I have some cool graphic stuff set up, but oh well. What are you going to do? Can't use it. Let me call him. Oh, that's my server. Find or start. Okay. Oh, there we go. Is there space in his name? I think there's a space. Maybe it's one word. There he was. Okay, cool. So I sent a friend request to him. So we'll see. In the meantime, so one of the things I added to the stream was on the bottom. You'll see the chat from YouTube. Anything that you guys are saying, it's going to shoot across the bottom. And yeah, from a JOYTOY news perspective, there really wasn't anything this week. Anything that was announced that's coming out, and we got the Chinese New Year that's coming out. That's starting. I think it already started the 26th, and it's still. I think it's for a full week. So for this next week, there's not going to be really any kind of news from JOYTOY, as well as anything being shipped out. So if you have something for order from either anything from China, essentially, they're not going to be shipping any stuff out. So I had the Space Marine. I have Titus, and I'm waiting for the light up eyes to come out. And so I thought that they would be here this week or next week, but looks like it's going to take a little bit longer. So I think these are in transit. Same thing with Sanguinius's extra head. He's not he doesn't have it's not being shipped out, I don't think, yet. So I'm gonna have to wait a little while. Hey, what's up, Mr. Ling? So tonight I'm trying to do the stream guest, and it's not working out too great. I don't want to use Streamlabs for this. I'm gonna probably have to. But in the meantime, I'm trying to. There we go. I got same time, and let's give him a call. Okay. This should work. I would think that this should work.
Ooh, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, dude? Go ahead and talk. Shane, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can hear you for a second.
Yo.
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear shit. Hold on.
Sure.
There it is. I should be here. There it is.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, cool. All right, so at least we don't even get a visual of you, but we get your audio, so that's good.
Good.
So, all right, cool.
I got a voice. I got a face for radio.
Same thing for me. So,
what's going on, guys? Same Time Toys coming at you live from the WraithMace garage.
So, all right. So we don't have the video, some technical difficulties tonight, but we got Shane on the phone or on Discord, so we can hear him. So we're going to be talking about some stuff from Warhammer 40K. What I'd like to have is, moving forward, once I get the visuals fixed, have somebody on these streams on 11 o'clock at night on a Friday. I mean, on a Sunday rather, and we'll talk to them about the guests about their experiences with Warhammer, right? So, for instance, Shane has a lot more experience than I do. I only got into Warhammer. I only got into Warhammer about 5 years ago. So, I want to hear what Shane's experiences are from Warhammer's perspective, because he's a big Blood Angels fan, and he read. I think you told me you read all the Horus Heresy books, right?
Every single one of them.
That's
except
insane, dude.
I haven't read the entire Solar War. So
That's
when it
crazy.
comes to the end and the death, I haven't gotten there just because I'm trying to. I don't want it to end. You know what I mean?
Sure. So, but that's crazy, dude. And so they're coming out with a new series of books based upon. Did you see that the Horus Heresy? They just announced the other day from
Right.
from
Yeah,
Black
I can't
Library.
wait.
Yeah.
But I've read all 47 books, and I've read all the novellas. And
shit.
what I haven't actually read, I used to have on Audible. And
I was gonna ask you, did you Audible?
yeah, I love it. But my Audible, I can't get back into my Audible account. I don't know why. I can't get a hold of anybody on the phone to actually turn it back on.
Oh,
but I have like 50 books in my Audible account. That's like, fuck, I would really like, sorry about that. I would really like to have these books back.
That's weird.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a big pain in my butt.
Wow.
What are you gonna do?
So I am going to set up. I'm just trying to move some stuff around quick because I'm changing the screen. So really quickly, while I'm moving some stuff around, tell the guys what your experience is with Warhammer. When did you get into Warhammer 40K? What got you into Warhammer 40K and stuff like that?
Okay, so God, I got into Warhammer 40K right at the beginning of 4th edition. Whenever that was, 2002-ish. It was right around the same time my daughter was born. But a buddy of mine, two buddies of mine that I've always gamed with since like high school. We've always played D&D, GURPS, Marvel Supers, name it, we've gamed it. Like my buddy has a game store in Orlando, which is, you know, where Disney and all that stuff is. And I live on the beach in Daytona. So let's go out and check it out. So we go out there and they're playing this tabletop game that looks really effing cool. I'm like, man, this is neat. And I'm trying to figure out how to make the same game, but for like G.I. Joe guys and, you know, action figures. I'm like, man, this is cool. I can do something with this, right?
Yep.
And the next thing I know, you know, come back, fucking everybody, they're talking behind my back, you know, we're going to get into this game. And the Battle for Macragge had just come out. And it was the starter box set for 4th edition, which was Ultramarines versus Tyranids. And they bought me the starter box. Here you go. This is what we're doing now. Okay. Well, you know, this is what we're doing. Okay. Little did I know how much time, money, and effort this game was going to cause me.
Sure.
So I get that box set. I build it. It's real simple models at this point. You know, it is plastic. You know, they're still doing lead miniatures at the point, or pewter miniatures, but they're really getting into plastic now. So I got a bunch of models, and my buddy buys the 3rd edition box set, and I get all the Space Marine stuff for that. More Space Marines, more Space Marines. These guys start buying brand new stuff for my soon-to-be buddy's store. He has a complete Games Workshop mini franchise thing.
Oh, wow.
That's what they sell, is Games Workshop stuff. So we're going to Orlando every weekend now, and we're buying Warhammer, we're playing Warhammer, learning how to paint, doing, you know.
I was just saying, were you guys painting your models and stuff? Or
Oh yeah,
great,
you know,
gray model fighting it out.
Right. Well, you know, my one buddy, his models were gray until I painted them for him. I mean, that's just, he is not a painter. He loved to build them, but he couldn't paint for nothing.
Sure.
Because he wouldn't apply himself, and that's all it takes. You know, it's just like what I was telling you earlier about streaming and making videos. You know, as long as the next model is better than the next one, you're doing it. You know.
Yeah.
And back then, it's not like it is now, where you can watch some tutorials and figure out how to paint right away. I mean, this was a lot of trial and freaking error back then. You know, early 2000s, it was a pain in the neck
can imagine,
to figure
dude.
this stuff out.
You can't just throw on Twitch and watch somebody painting.
Exactly. They weren't doing that then.
No.
And a lot of the guys that I gamed with early on have started channels like that. A lot of the guys that are in the same gaming groups, they're huge now. Like Kenny Boucher from Next Level Painting. He was in the same Warhammer club that I was in. We were in different parts. Like, we never met each other, but we were in the same group. And,
wow.
you know, just stuff like that. I mean, it's insane.
Wow. So now, what did you gravitate to in the beginning? Like, you obviously, all you guys
Blood
have.
Angels.
I was gonna say, did you like the Blood Angels immediately? Was that your boys?
Immediately. I mean, I got the Ultramarines and then a little bit of fluff, and I went straight to Blood Angels. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
because my buddy was playing Chaos. So
Oh wow. Okay.
one buddy was playing Sisters of Battle and Guard. My other buddy took all the Chaos armies, because it was one codex back then. It wasn't broken into 4 like it is now.
Oh wow.
And
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
it was one dex, and you were all the Chaos armies. Demons wasn't even a thing back then. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was the Marines, and I was like, well, you know, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be Blood Angels, you know, because they had the Death Company, you know, and
Oh yeah.
Chaplain. I played
sure,
the Chaplain bomb, so I ran 2 Chaplains, which was 3 plus D3 Death Company models per Chaplain, and then you rolled through your every squad in your army. You rolled a D6, and I can't remember if it was a 1 or a 6. But when you rolled a 1 or a 6, you pulled one model out of that squad, and he became a Death Company guy.
Wow.
And if you took your sergeant, you could give that Death Company guy a power fist. So I ran mini-max squads, ran 5-man squads with a sergeant, and I would decimate my squads trying to roll to get more Death Company. And I would have so many Death Company models. It was just...
So then
It was ridiculous.
you like my shirt that I have on then, right? You like the
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm looking at
You have no
right now.
idea.
Up at the ceiling, I have the disc plates. So I bought I have the Grey Knights, I have the Raven Company, and I have the Blood Angels, but I have the Death Company one for the Blood Angels.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And the thing about the Death Company is it comes from when Horus killed Sanguinius. And because Sanguinius was such a psyker that when he died, like, it sent out a psychic pulse to all of his sons, which are the Blood Angels. And they, on the eve of battle, they'll go nuts and they'll think that they're Sanguinius fighting Horus.
Yeah.
And that's how you get the Death Company.
You know what's just so funny is everything that I learned about the Blood Angels, all their history, everything that you're talking about was in that game Battle Sector 40K for the
Right.
PC that came out in I want to say 2020 is when it came out. But they did, if you just watch the opening to that, and they talk about
Yep.
Baal, and they talk about the moons of Baal and stuff like that, like,
Yep.
dude, like, it's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's Games Workshop does such a great job of controlling their IP. They don't just let people use their IP. Like, you have to prove that, you know, you're willing to go the extra mile. And that's why the whole Henry Cavill thing really threw me for a loop. I was like, they're really going to let this happen?
They're gonna let someone else control it.
Right, because they're so controlling of what they do. But
I feel like that whole thing with Henry Cavill, the reason why it took so long for them to get the sign-offs is because I feel like Henry Cavill is more of a figurehead, and I still
Right.
feel like Games Workshop is the final say for everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're not going to let anybody, no matter who you are,
But, like,
mess
for
with their
instance,
brand.
look at the episode that came out for the secret level, right? The Warhammer
Right.
40K one. Now that was specifically about Space Marine 2. Right? Tied right into the video game. There was a reason why, and it was because the game hadn't been released by the time that they were making it. So Games Workshop definitely focused that on that, which makes complete sense. The point of it being, they are in control with what's being put out there. They know what's going to serve. They know that, for instance, new players or new fans of Warhammer 40K are going to be drawn in by Space Marine 2. What is the protagonist in Space Marine 2? It's Titus, right? So they're going to base everything that's going to be hitting you from a media perspective outside of the game, just media, Titus, right? And so that's what that secret level episode was. So my question to you is this, right? And I'm going to ask all of the guests this question. So from because you're a long time Warhammer 40K fan, you've read all the books, you've read all the Horus Heresy novels, right? From your experience and what you're seeing, are you happy with the direction that they're going, other than the DEI stuff that's happening? But are you happy with the direction that the franchise is going, that it's opening itself up for more fans? Or would you rather, like, do you feel like that's going to be problematic for what you've read because you're so into the lore?
I had a problem when 10th edition came out and they bumped the lore ahead so many years. When they brought Gilliman back and they brought the Trader Primarchs back. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it, but it advanced the story. And I'm happy they did that. And I don't have any problems with any direction they want to go in. DEI stuff, that's just, I mean, shit, these are the times we live in. I mean, I'm surprised that, they took as long as they did, And they've always joked around about female Space Marines and stuff like that. There's females in the Guard, give me a break.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I keep forgetting to talk to the mic. I was gonna ask you because I'm unboxing the JOYTOY, which, by the way, on the poll I did before, the Armored Sentinel 1, which essentially looks like an ATSD. That's why I think it's so cool.
Yeah, no, I ran a Star Wars army. When I finally got sick and tired of, people laughing at my gameplay, because I ran a totally fluffy army.
Sure.
Because I was, right off the bat, I started reading books, this, that, and the other thing. And they had a thing back then called Movie Marines, where the whole game was done completely different. And you only had a couple of Space Marines, and you could just wreck wholesale shop because it was based around the fluff.
Yeah.
I could hardly ever get anybody to play it because it was so lopsided, Space Marine wise. Because Space Marines, a Space Marine by himself can pacify an entire planet.
Exactly.
And when you start going into 30K with the legions, and oh my god, it's insane. I mean, it's just there's so much. I mean, you remember that scene in The Crow when Eric Draven grabbed the cop and the cop gave him all the memories?
Yes.
If I could do that to you, I'd do it to you, and I'd watch you just fall apart.
Dude, for the lore, what's so hysterical about it is, again, I've been into like fantasy lore since I started playing EverQuest back in like '98, right? Nice. So at that time, I've read all the R.A. Salvatore books, right? So I'm a big R.A. Salvatore fan, and
I tried. I couldn't do it.
No.
As much as I like Drizzt, I never went around that corner and got right into it.
You know what it was with R.A. Salvatore? He writes great sword fighting scenes, right? So his action scenes are awesome. So that got me into, and essentially because I was playing in the game that I was playing like a rogue and like a ranger and stuff like that. So it was awesome to read stuff. But what wound up happening was I kept going to the bookstore, and I bought all of the Forgotten Realms books, and I read them all. Okay, I've read so many of the Forgotten Realms books, and then I was like, I need something to read, and then I looked over, and there's the Warhammer 40K. It wasn't called It wasn't called It wasn't called Old World at that time. It was just called Warhammer. Period.
Just
Correct.
Warhammer.
And I remember the first book I picked up was Matthias Thurman, The Witch Hunter. And
nice.
my God, dude, that book is so good. But even to this day, that is one of my favorite books to read. The anthology with Matthias Thurman. And then I went from that to the Dan Abernethy book of Brunner the Bounty Hunter. And
nice.
that was awesome, dude. And so I was immediately pulled. Dude, I was immediately pulled into the Black Library. So now, did you read any of the, were you into any of the fantasy stuff or just into 40K?
I've read Gore-Tex and Felix, and I've read this and that, a couple of the Tomb King books. The first time I ever heard of Games Workshop, we started playing a board game called Hero Quest in like 92. And I went into my friendly local comic book store, which was getting all my money at the time because I was buying so many books. They had Advanced Hero Quest by Games Workshop, and it came with these like knights that weren't knights, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Just padded armor and shields and a polearm and a bunch of Skaven. And then the four main characters, and it was stuff you put on your Hero Quest board to make it more crazy.
Wow.
As only Games Workshop can make stuff crazy. And I think that right around that same time is when 40K was first coming out, and it was, the miniatures were so bad. But at the time, they were really good, if that makes any sense. It's a lot like toys now, you know?
They were pewter back then, too, right? The miniatures?
Right, yeah, exactly. You know, and everything was pewter, and everything was just crazy and just nuts.
Dude, I'm looking at this, what is this called?
Shit. Something just fell in my garage.
Oh.
Sounded expensive, too.
Hopefully none of your toys, dude.
It was. I don't know what fell, though. I just heard it crash.
Dude, so I'm taking out the Cadian Armored Sentinel. And one of the things that's really awesome about JOYTOY, from my perspective, and here's kind of a question for you, because you've been into the miniatures and the painting and stuff like that, and I've seen other people's reviews on some of the Warhammer stuff. I stopped watching the other people's reviews, but in the beginning, what I was seeing was people who were fans of Warhammer 40K and painters weren't happy with the JOYTOY figures because they didn't feel like it had enough paint on it. Now, let me tell you something. These figures are like Mythic Legions type of figures, okay?
Yeah.
As far as and
I
in some
haven't had them
cases,
in my hand, but I've seen them. You know what
that's
I mean?
what I'm saying. So I understand that it might not have the levels of shading that you would put on a miniature, okay?
To paint a JOYTOY to these standards that we hold our miniatures to, not just 3 colors to get on the table at a tournament. I'm talking these really good painters that surpass me in every way.
Golden Demon.
Yeah,
quality.
these Golden Demon guys and guys that think they're Golden Demon guys. To make a JOYTOY to that level, you're talking $400 a normal character. You know what I mean? You can't do that. I mean, but the guys that really impress me are the guys that get it themselves and then they start painting them themselves. You know what I mean? And then that's amazing to me.
Dude, this Armored Sentinel, holy crap, dude. It's again, I'm amazed at some of the stuff, the level of detail that JOYTOY puts. Like, I'm looking at the figure right now, the driver, and I mean,
they have all the 3D scans and everything because Games Workshop's completely redone everything. And I think that's why these Horus Heresy models or JOYTOYs that you're getting are so much better than the first couple runs of JOYTOY figures.
Yeah, dude, the Horus Heresy models are like they totally kicked it out of the ballpark with knocked it out of the ballpark with
Yeah.
with the Horus Heresy figures. Like so much so you can easily see, because what winds up happening is these figures are going up on the official Warhammer merch
Yeah.
store, where the
Yeah.
other 40K figures were not. The first 40K figure hit the merch store, and it was the JOYTOY Knight that they offered. Right, this is like a $700 JOYTOY.
Okay, well, the very first action figure Space Marine that went on Games Workshop was Revoltech, I think, or
okay.
Bandai or Revoltech. It was a Japanese company. They make awesome fucking toys, and it was like it's the equivalent of the McFarlane, but with nicer articulation. It's like Marvel Legends versus Mafex.
Sure.
Is with the difference. But then we got these McFarlane giant guys. I got a couple. I'm not gonna lie. I have a gray one that I bought with all the intentions of painting. He's broken down as much as you can break this down, but unfortunately, I actually have to go to Games Workshop just to get paint.
Oh wow.
And that meme is true. You don't just go to Games Workshop to get paint.
You wind up buying everything else.
Dude, I'm terrified. It's going to cost me $500 to go in and buy a rattle can of Space Marine Gray.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, the one thing that's really nice about all the JOYTOY figures so far, at least I've seen, everything from their standard figures to the vehicles like this walker here, dude, the level of, like, if you take the easiest way I could say this is I had the Kaldor Dragor figure, and then I also had the Kaldor Dragor painted figure. I actually bought the a painted version of him, and I compared him on a video to the miniature, and like the JOYTOY figure is like 1-to-1. Right.
Yeah,
1-to-1.
Crazy. I really think they're taking the 3D scans that Games Workshop has, because they make rent for their miniatures and they just upscale it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what's going on. I really do.
So now so you're going to get your first JOYTOY figure, right?
Yeah, no, he's sitting in my cart waiting for me to pick him up. It's gonna be Sanguinius, fucking the Primarch of the Night. I can't wait.
So it's definitely gonna be Sanguinius, right?
Yeah, I'm not messing around. I'm gonna get him, and I already know I'm gonna love it. And don't get it twisted. I know myself, and that's why I've stayed away as long as I have. But you're killing me, dude. Your whole Warhammer channel. I was out of Warhammer, like Don Corleone in Godfather 3. I was out, and they pulled me back in.
Dude, this walker, oh my god, dude, this thing is awesome. I know you can't see it, and it's probably killing you right now, but dude, they did such a great job on this walker. Wow, dude, this is one of the reasons why I stopped collecting all the G.I. Joe classified and everything.
I don't blame you, dude. Warhammer will consume your soul.
Dude, it's so, dude, and the big thing for me was, and I have a lot of room, and I was just like, the 6-inch scale figures for G.I. Joe, like, I want some vehicles and stuff like that. And
right.
I don't know, man. The G.I. Joe, the HasLab stuff, once I got the Hiss, I was like, I have no room. I have no room.
I don't have a Hiss. I have a Stinger, and that thing is too big.
Yeah,
it's too big. It just is. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love it. I want a vamp. I'm gonna buy a Hiss. You know, I backed the Rattler. I pulled out, but I also had one that kind of went through. They didn't take my payment, but they never sent me anything.
True.
So if I do have the money when the Rattler drops, I'm gonna get a hold of Hasbro and be like, "What the fuck? Why didn't you take my money? What happened?" I'm just gonna play stupid and see how far that gets me, because I know they made extras. You know, so I'm not stupid.
I would.
They have that. They have that 15% runoff for damages and shit. So And they sell those off eventually, you know, but I'm
Mhm.
not even, I'm just going to play stupid and try to get a Rattler that way. I figured it'd make a good story for the channel.
So now, so now you're gonna get Sanguinius, right?
Yes.
So based upon what you feel from that figure, it's gonna dictate whether you get any more JOYTOY figures, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna get Sanguinius. Then I'll wind up getting Russ, the War Master, and this is only if they don't make an Emperor model finally. You know what I mean? Because
Sure.
those are few and far between.
Sure.
But I'm gonna go down that route. I didn't do it with Forge World. I didn't start buying their character series models for Horus Heresy. I wanted to, but I never felt that I would be able to paint that model with the justice it deserves.
Mm-hmm.
So I just didn't buy them. I had plans of like calling Siege Studio and getting them to paint one and buying it that way.
Yeah.
There's no sense of buying $100 model, putting a shitty paint job on it, and then spending $300-400 on that same model again to have somebody really paint it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, actually, you know what? I'm gonna try something right now while you're talking. Even though I'm gonna try the camera. Can you turn on your camera if I turn on my camera? I'm gonna see if this will work. Let me go into the settings first before I do this. It's gonna be under overlay. I have to find which one it is. That's it.
But yeah, man, that just I know these models or these toys are going to be amazing, and I've seen them. I've watched them when they first came out, and then I've watched you just go crazy with them.
Dude, I swear, like I said,
but I completely understand because I have 7 different armies right now.
Dude, it's crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's just like,
yeah. If these JOYTOYs were out when I first got into Warhammer, instead of going down the gaming route, I might have bought an army, but I would have put the rest of my. I'd have all these figures that you got, dude, because I'm an action figure junkie since I was 3 when the Star Wars figures came out. I remember waiting for that. One of my earliest memories is waiting on a freaking toy.
So
all right, I'm gonna hit my camera.
Yeah, let me see if I can get your camera in here.
There it is.
All right, there's your camera. And let me see if I can share mine at the same time. And we'll see.
Same time.
There we go. And you guys can hear us now. All right. The only problem is like I said, I got to figure out how to fix this. Discord has it where for some reason my stuff is backwards. So everybody's going to see everything, and everything in Wraith is going to be backwards. It's not a big deal. I wanted to make sure I got you on camera. So all right. So you're definitely a Blood Angel fan, right? So have you played Space Marine 2 at all yet?
No, I have not.
Okay.
No, I have not. I don't have a system anymore, and I just got the laptop like a couple weeks ago, so I'm behind on a bunch of stuff. I used to be a huge gamer, and I just sometimes some things have to go. You know, there's not enough hours in a day, and you know, World of Warcraft. Yeah, man, you're not. You know, I played the beta for World of Warcraft, for God's sakes. I mean, just played that forever. Then we played 15 other games trying to figure it out. Everybody branched off into other games. Baldur's Gate's got most everybody in my gaming group back together.
Yep.
Like they're playing that together now. But even that, I'm just like, I don't have time for real. All my spare time, you froze for a second there on my screen. But
that's okay.
Hey, at least people can see me. But yeah, it's just, I don't have time for video games.
No, I think that's, again, one of the things that I've seen, at least with my time, is that for the last 20 years I've played World of Warcraft, like big time. And I was always into the PvP side of it, and I never realized how much time I actually, like, I'm talking like 3 hours a night I would play, like PvP, and I didn't realize how much
longer.
Yeah, like it was just fun for me, and and then I stopped playing like all the time. I started throwing other time into other things, and like I said, you don't realize how
Kids
much
will do
time.
Kids will do that.
Oh God, yeah.
And then when World of Warcraft first came out, I was just starting to figure out how to be a dad. So I mean, it was just there was so much going on in my life. I mean, just wow. And now I'm so far behind the curve. Like I can play fighting games and hold my own, but Destiny stuff like that, I have more fun watching you guys play. I really do.
Sure.
I'll let you fucking be the one that goes, damn it, and throw the controller. Yeah, I'm past that part. I'll stroke out playing a video game. My heart can't take it.
I will say this: the Space Marine 2 game, the thing that's really cool about it is, it has a great, and I hope you understand what I'm saying. It has a great foundation, right? It has a simple but a solid foundation, and then it leads into the game being deeper, right? So if you have a good foundation,
how does the gameplay on the controller compare to? Right, how does the gameplay compare versus Space Marine 1? You played that?
So yes, so it's way obviously it's way more responsive. Yeah, it's a way more responsive game.
That was the last game I played all the way through.
Yeah, it's a way more. It's a way more responsive game, and your decisions. Oh, cool! I can actually stick your logo here too. So let's do this. But your decisions really make, like, for instance, so in Space Marine, the first one, you didn't really have like classes, right? You just had, you play Titus, right? But when you play once you beat the normal version of the game and you play the multiplayer after the fact, which is what I'm doing, you start to build up and level up your guy. You can play other characters, right? So you can play other classes rather. So I'm playing a Bulwark right now, essentially a Blade Guard. So I am, even though it's tough, like I wanted to learn how to play the base version of the game. I wanted a good standard. I want to have good skills, at least from that perspective, instead of playing with people who were super higher level and were going to make everything easier, and I wouldn't learn, right? And so that's the biggest thing between Space Marine 1 and Space Marine 2. It's a simplistic game from a third-person shooter, but it's a deep game once you get deeper into it, and that's what makes the game a lot of fun.
Cool.
And you can play, the other thing that's cool is you can play with 3 people. So you can run around, play, 3 people can help you with you're running around as a 3-man team on the missions, right? Just kind of like, I forgot in Space Marine 2, could you do that on Space Marine 1? Could you do that on the story mode? Or was it just single and then you couldn't play the other 2 Space Marines?
Yeah, you didn't play the other guys. At least I never did. And then you got to do multiplayer, play
PvP.
Weird shit, Assault Marines and stuff.
I get it. Yeah, in this game too, you get you can play multiplayer PvP as the secondary option for it. But like I said, one of the coolest things is I'm able to play as a Blood Angel. Right now I can't play the Grey Knights, right? But I'm playing my second favorite chapter, which is the Blood Angels. Right. And so
you're gonna find that Grey Knights are a little over here. Lately they've come into they've always been a faction, but now they're still not top tier tournament faction, but if you're good and you love them, you can go pretty far. You know what I mean? I still look at this as, it's a tournament game for me. I was I got, shit. I got a Rogue Trader trophy, for God's sakes, fucking dude, I got more plaques and fucking shit. It's crazy.
That a lot of people they're like, asking me, they're like, so are you gonna play, are you gonna play the game? You know, are you going to play? The problem with me with playing the game is I just, again, being a dad, having a career and stuff, I just don't have the time to go to like a hobby store and play the game. That's the problem. It would be taking
Yeah,
too much
no,
time away from other. Like I can only do this after 11, 10 o'clock at night when my kids are asleep.
right, right, yeah, no, understandable, and it is what it is. But I'm telling you, I'm coming up north when the snow fucking thaws, and I will make a detour, and we're gonna
Definitely.
play 40K.
I
and
gotta
we're
show you
gonna
my garage,
play.
dude.
We're gonna play Kill Team with our JOYTOY figures, because as soon as I get the first one, I'll know the scale and I'll start making terrain right away.
I definitely feel like Kill Team is more my speed because I like the smaller engagements. And one of my favorite games for Warhammer 40K is Cascade Demon Hunters, and it's all about the 3 to 4 man teams.
And it's a lot faster too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you can play a game of Kill Team in a couple hours. You play a tournament-sized list, 2,000 points now. Used to be 1850, but now it's 2,000 points, it's perfect. It really is when you're building an army.
Sure.
If two people know what they're doing and they're on it at a tournament, you can play a game in 2 hours.
Yeah, like for instance,
You're not looking up every rule and you're banging, you're throwing your dice and you're moving because you can follow what the other guy's doing because he's doing the same thing you're doing.
Yeah, the Hobby Goblins is a YouTube channel, and they have like I feel like daily streams, right? I think it's like 5 days a week, and I jump on their stream and I watch them, I talk to them, and they have professional players there who go to tournaments, and they're just like you're saying, you're getting in a game within 2 hours. Sometimes they have games that are like 40 minutes because they know exactly what they're doing.
I play games that were that fast because my opponent wasn't that good. I'm a douchebag when I play on the tabletop. I mean, that's why we're not going to do that, because we won't be friends. You won't like me anymore. And I pride myself on having. When we first started Road Traeger tournaments, there was the sportsmanship category. And if you got your opponent to pick you as their favorite opponent and a couple other things in the soft scores, you were guaranteed to win.
Oh, I lost you for a second.
Well, if there was a sportsmanship category in tournaments back then, and it was if you your opponent said you were like his favorite opponent and stuff like that.
Let me say.
We good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, now I can hear you. Yeah, your voice is going, your audio is going in and out. It's okay.
Probably my garbage here, but yeah, it was soft score points. So you would make your opponent, like you were best friends, But every turn, I'm throwing dice, and I'm like, get that off my table, get that off my table. And I have been humbled. I've gone to major tournaments and done very poorly and been like, wow, yeah, that's crazy. But I learned how to play the game in a Shark Tank too. So I mean, everybody was cutthroat. So I mean, that's how
it's super competitive. Absolutely. I completely understand that. So you saw the reviews, because I did the two videos on the Blood Angel figures by JOYTOY. What do you feel like as far as like? Do you feel like they're 1-to-1 with the representation of the figures compared to the miniatures?
As far as I've seen, it really looks like they just took the 3D renders and
blew it up,
made them bigger. I mean,
yeah.
But there's not a whole lot to a Space Marine. I mean, just they are what they are. I mean,
yeah, correct.
I even got the McFarlane guy here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I had to dirty him up because I couldn't take it. He was too clean.
And Space Wolves too.
Before they go to battle, they're lapping powder and polishing their armor to a high sheen. I get it, but I still like the dirty. I've been in combat for a year look.
Well, especially that one right there. That's a Space Wolves. So he's got the whole Viking motif going with him. So he can't be pristine.
To the 10th, the highest power. They're just space Vikings for real.
So what do you think about the whole thing that I have a problem with the no helmets on the Space Marines? Because I have a
knew
real
this was
problem
coming.
with this.
I 100% get it. And there are scenes in the books where somebody takes a shot to the head and their helmet saves their life. But then their helmet's trashed and they throw it to the side. And then there's some guys that never wear a helmet ever in the books, you know, and it's just like, yeah, you know, that sniper in the tree, man.
All it takes is one Necron sniper, dude. He's getting through your helmet.
A Necron, dude, all it takes is one shot and it
Disintegrates.
dematerializes you layer by layer to the bone, and then you're nothing. It just eats your molecules away. It's called being flayed.
You know what I think it is? I think it's, for me, it's like the wimpy army. With the wimpy, not the wimpy, but like the normal human cultists, right? They're using safer, because they're using bolters, right? Sometimes they're using
Dude, some of them are carrying pipes, lead pipes. And
so that's what I'm saying. Like
pistols.
A lead pipe to the head, like that's gonna mess up your day. Okay, like you still need your helmet.
You take Mike Tyson in his prime with a lead pipe, and I would put money on the Space Marine taking that lick and just looking at him. I mean, because Space Marine, I mean, your bones are regrown thicker.
Sure.
You get an extra heart, an extra lung. I mean, just the implant process that you go through, and then all the hundreds and hundreds of years of training and just war after war, fight after fight. They go from one war zone to another once they're finally in. It's just insane. I
understand.
I'm a nerd.
Dude, I'm telling, like, my whole.
I don't even know where to start. Like, I'm just like.
We're gonna. So we're.
Knowledge.
Listen, we're gonna do this again when I have the stream set up a little bit better. So this is a good one to go with, because it's a good. Because at least I know I can get people on Discord. I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with it. Because I want you to be able to see.
You know how many times I've stopped myself from calling you to be like, hey, just because I knew something like, you know, we were eventually going to do this, and why ruin all that with a 10-hour phone call?
Dude, like I said, I want to have what I think is going to be really fun is when I get me, you, and Crow and T3 and everybody, and we'll have like a 4-way call.
I can't wait.
And we're all talking about it. Because Crow messaged me earlier today and was like, "Hey, dude, like, what do you guys think? What are you gonna do it?" And I'm like, "Listen, I'm getting everything set up. I'm trying to get the stream set up to how."
Crow is a great guy to talk to. I had him on my show once, and I've been watching Crow since he started. You know, him and Aaron and all those guys. But you know, Crow is a great guy. So, and his military background is what I really want to pick his brain about playing the game and how military, actual real world military tactics, how do they work in a game of Warhammer? Because I know, you know, there's been people, oh, I bought the Art of War by Sun Tzu. And like, yeah, fuck. Sorry.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Screw you, pal. You know, throw the book away. It's got nothing to do with Warhammer. Nothing at all. Just, I read it too. That's why I can tell you, don't waste your time. Great book. Real world, yes. Warhammer tabletop, no, it doesn't help you at all.
So now, one of the things that really interests me about Warhammer, like you have, like there's so many things to the hobby. So for instance, like I like what I like, right? So I like the JOYTOY figures. I like the lore. I like the video games, right? That's what I've liked. Now I like the miniatures, but that's not something right now that I'm totally into. One thing I will say,
this was the last thing I bought.
Oh wow, dude!
I bought Kill Team Ashes of Faith because I am an Inquisition nut.
Oh really? Okay.
Eisenhorn, Ravener, all.
Do you know JOYTOY Eisenhorn is coming out later this year, right?
Yeah, I know. That's why I got to hurry up and start buying some toys.
Dude, they're gonna start. They'll have the Inquisition. They're gonna have I guarantee they'll have the Inquisition figures and stuff like that. Oh my god. See, that's the thing.
This is great plastic. This is your first time. That's your first color. You need 3 colors to make it to a tournament.
So
Easy.
I have. I'm gonna. Oh, where is it? Actually, it's right here. So I have from the what is it? Warhammer Plus. So I have the miniatures of the free ones that you got, right? Right. Okay. So
all right. So I'm gonna cuss and say something, and you're gonna have to deal with it. Fuck you. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
that's, if I got Warhammer Plus, that was the I was gonna do it just to get that one model.
Oh, really? I'll give
that
you this model.
War Knight in Terminator armor. Yeah, you bastard.
So I have like Fury. I have the Furiosa. I have Dante, and then my wife also bought me like a Space Marine starter painting. Space Marine starter painting kit, right? And I bought a bunch of paints, and I have. So what I'm gonna do is I bought this table that I just did the unboxing for the Cadia, and what I'm gonna do is probably not this week, but next week, I'm gonna try to attempt to paint. Okay, I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm gonna see if I like it, right? Because I've done painting on figures, right? I've done custom figures and stuff like that before. But not
you
to
ever
the
painted
extent.
a D&D mini in your life?
No. Nope.
Well,
I've always.
You're about to.
So that's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna give a shot to painting some of these miniatures that I have, and then I'm gonna see where I can go from that with it. But again, my main focus is these JOYTOY figures, the video games, and the lore. I really enjoy that. From your perspective, what is the biggest point of Warhammer that pulls you in?
Tournaments. I'm all about tournament play. Yeah, I love the lore. I love building models. I love painting the models. I love playing with the models. Warhammer is the game that I always wanted to play with G.I. Joe guys. And we've actually, we've taken 3 3/4-inch Joes and moved them around like it was Warhammer. We upped the rules because we've always played D&D and GURPS and just anything. You know what I mean? We've always role played. So tabletop is just another extension. But when it comes down to it now, even though I'm not doing it, it's tournament play. I love going to tournaments. You play, depending on how big the tournament is, you play between 3 and 5 different players over a weekend. That's 3 to 5 people you've never met before, if you're lucky. Because I've gone to some tournaments where you got to play your buddy, and we drove 3 hours to go to a tournament. But yeah, I'm still playing my buddy that we could have done this at home. Why are we here? That'll piss you off. But
do you feel like the tournaments?
We were in a 200-person tournament, and I still had to play my buddy. I was like, how is that humanly possible?
That's insane. That's crazy, dude.
The odds are astronomical at that point that I got paired against him, but here we are.
And you guys travel together too.
Well, we just oh yes.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Room, the whole bit.
I was big into the Street Fighter tournament scene back in the day, right? So in the arcade, so in like the late 90s, well, the early to mid to late 90s, I would go to like the tournaments and stuff like that. And so I know exactly what you mean. We go all that way there, especially back then. And we get there, and I remember one session, one tournament, we actually, I think it was the 3rd round we got to, and we fought each other. And I was like, dude, we do this every day. We do this every single day. And of course, he knew exactly what it was, so he beat me. And then he wound up losing to the guy.
Like, all right, dude, how are you doing? Are you feeling it today? No, well, I'm feeling it. So I get the win, and we'll just play a game, and and then it never fails because we'll start doing that, and then like they'll say they pick me to win. Like, all right, cool. And so we start playing, and then people start paying attention, start watching the game. So like, well, shit, now I really got to play because I can't write all these scores down and not have actually done it. Freaking somebody's gonna say something. But I was at a tournament one time with the soft scores, best opponent. I had a buddy of mine that didn't even play me, wrote me down as best opponent. And when I won the tournament, they're like, how did you get so many soft score points? Oh, you tell me you added it up. Like you played 3 people, but 4 people said you were their favorite opponent. My buddy wrote me down. I was like, oh my fucking God.
That's hysterical. So let me ask you a question. So you watched the Return to Cadia, right? That I put up I put up a short version of it. Essentially what I did was I took the 20-minute episode, I chopped it down to 5 minutes. I think I did a pretty good job to make sure that you guys get the whole picture of what the storyline is without, you still see it on Warhammer Plus.
I just watched the Tithe last night, and I was like, the whole thing.
Good, right?
Somebody aired it. I was just like, that's amazing. So I can only imagine how much is into Cadia.
Yeah. So did you watch the Cadia one yet or not yet? Return to Cadia on.
I haven't seen the whole thing yet. I saw what you put out.
Okay, all right. So from what I put out and what you saw, like there's been a lot of, I've gotten a lot of comments about the storyline. Like some people are like making videos saying like they're against, like I want to see what you say, because you have the experience in Warhammer from the perspective of you've been following it, you know the lore. A lot of people are pissed off.
I read the book. I read the book, Fall of Cadia.
Fall of Cadia, correct. Correct. So some people are like,
it's a big, huge. The book is a mess. It's so all over the place because it was a planet-wide war.
correct.
And it was the way I saw it when they broke the planet, Abaddon, when he just like half-handedly, he was like, you know what? Just throw that ship at the planet and F them. You know what I mean? Let them deal with that. And that's what broke the planet apart at the very end. So the planet broke before the guard did.
So let me ask you a question. Are you okay with the fact that there's like an asteroid of Cadia that still has some, they're not people that are alive there, okay, first of all. They're people who are making a pilgrimage, Cadians, to the site, to it. And so a lot of people are pissed off that, like, some dude made a whole video about it where they're like, they're so upset. So again, from my perspective, again, from a new fan, I'm just like, dude, this is cool as shit. Like I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
like I'm just like, it's cool as hell.
Cool is cool. F you. Yeah.
Oh, I lost your sound for a
people in
second.
40K lore that make pilgrimage.
No, don't go away. No. Uh-oh. I can't hear you, Shane.
To Terra. Find a
There
big
we
enough
go.
piece of asteroid. To find a big enough piece of asteroid, I mean, of course people are going to go to it.
Correct. And I feel like, I don't know. I understand the whole thing with the female custodies and it, people being upset about it, but
Give me a break. Yeah. I don't care. If it's written well, if it works, it works. If it's forced and faked, I haven't heard anybody say it felt forced or fake. You know what I mean? That have actually read it. So I'll read that book eventually, or I'll listen to the audio book, and then, but these are the times we live in. I mean, come on, things change. Yes, trust me, I'm Garth from, we fear change.
I feel like,
but yeah, I mean, it is.
listen, I understand because I came from the Star Wars lore and not being happy with what they did with especially The Last Jedi and so on. But like when I saw the Tithes episode and they had the female custodies right in it, I just was of the mind that it looked cool as hell being able to see a custodies in action, because I've never seen that before. And all I've heard is stories of how the custodies like are the top of the food chain as far as Space Marines.
In the lore, Space Marines fight like wolves. It's a wolf pack. They fight like wolves, not Space Wolf, just Space Marines in general. Their fighting style is compared to a wolf. A custody is compared to a lion. they can, a Space Marine is worth 30 humans. Well, a Custodian's worth 30 Space Marines.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
so
31 Space Marines will kill a Custodians. You know what I mean?
Sure. But that's what I'm saying. Like watching, and then T3's got a good point. He's saying, haven't seen the episode yet, but I'm fine with the asteroid since listening to Creed, Ashes of Cadia, where they go back to the asteroids. So, correct. Like the thing is like there's not in that episode. It's not like they're saying that they found an outpost that still has Cadians alive on the planet that was destroyed.
They just found a big enough rock floating in space.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and they're like, hey, it's a pilgrimage. That's the whole point of it is you can see who the original Cadians are. Thank you, T3, for explaining this, because they have the purple irises based upon always looking at the Eye of Terror when they're living on Cadia, right? So when you're watching the episode, or at least I was watching to see which of the soldiers were pure Cadians, which have the bloodline of being from Cadia. So that's
something I wouldn't even have done. You know what I mean?
No, I'm watching for it. I'm like looking close. I'm like, is that the So being able to, like, those are cool things. And like they did a close up of one of the girls who went nuts. I'm like, oh, she's a pure Cadian. So the lore is still there. The World Eater's dude is still there. They also talk about, because I guess when the Eye of Terror was whatever happened, his legion, the World Eaters, gave him up, right, to the demons. And so this demon host took him over, or was a part of him. And so, like, you get some of his backstory in it. Purely speaking from the animation standpoint, it is at least on par with the Tithes episode, if not better. It's not secret level. It's not secret level Space Marine 2 stuff.
Well, but secret level was special. You know what I mean?
Correct.
That was out there, and that all eyes were going to be on that. Warhammer Plus. Warhammer eyes are going to be on that because you're paying for it.
Correct. And so that's the other thing. Like I said, that by the way, all the secret level episodes, the Space Marine 2 one is by far the best one. It's not even close.
Yeah,
it's not even close.
I watched crazy stuff come out of that. I was like, wow, Pac-Man, holy crap,
dude! I couldn't believe I was watching it with my nephew. I was like, well, we're not watching this anymore.
But yeah, dude, when that Space Marine put up that storm shield and ran through that freaking truck or whatever the hell it was.
Dude, he didn't even put up a shield. Like, dude, it was Titus. He dropped his shield and just ran through the cultist machine running at him. I was like, he's wearing power armor. I'm like, that's not even a Terminator.
You could actually get the Titus miniature at Amazon. It came in a box set game. It was the only way to get that figure, and I don't know if they put it on the site, but it came with that miniature for the tabletop, and he's got some cool rules, man. I'm like, I built a couple lists with him in it and had to use a proxy model because, and of course, I waited so long. It was $45. You got a bunch of models. It's $25-$30 to get a hero character anyway. So to get all the other models, it was worth it. But I waited so long. It's no longer on the shelf at Amazon or at Target. They have a different game out. And that's the only game you have anymore. I'm like, so damn, I can't even get this model now.
That sucks. That sucks. So now, being a Blood Angels fan, right? You're going to get the Sanguinius figure. Do you envision yourself getting any of the other JOYTOY Blood Angel figures?
I'm going to work my way through the Primarchs.
Okay.
I think. You said Valdor's coming out. I was like, you're getting Valdor.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know. Yeah. And you changed your mind nicely. Good job. Yep. Because Valdor is...
I listened to the audiobook of him. He's so cool.
Yeah, there's an audio book with him and Russ, and it's about the spear because they had like matching spears. if you get a chance to get that one, I believe that's an audio drama as well. So
Oh,
those
cool.
are the good
Okay.
ones.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
Oh, cool.
You'll love it. It's a
I'll look for
great
that one
story,
afterwards.
and it explains a lot. And it's like right after the emperor dies, so it gives you a good feeling of what just happened in the war and how these two great generals actually feel about it.
Interesting.
Like how Russ is just like it was for nothing. It was for piss.
So
the
now-
emperor's dead, the dream's gone. Here we are. Then we got nothing left. It's all this crap. And Valdor's like, the emperor didn't teach you right, did he? Because this is what we're gonna do.
He already has the next
and then they go
game
off
plan.
into the war to fight chaos. It's insane.
So my question to you is, dude, we're gonna have a lot of these conversations, dude. I'm gonna have you back on. So for you, so the Horus Heresy was another game that came out. I want to say it came out pretty recently, right? The Horus Heresy tabletop.
In the grand scheme of things, yeah, last 4 or 5 years, something like that.
Okay. So
it
now
might have been longer. That's just what it seems like to me.
Correct. So now the Horus Heresy figures outside of the Primarchs, because you didn't play the game, do you have any, like, is there any attachment to those figures? Like, for instance, the Blood Angel 30K figures.
I just from reading the books, I mean, it's just I love 30K, and none of my like normal group of guys, my normal gamers that live in my town, they don't play Horus Heresy. My buddy's got a bunch of models, but he's made them 40K models.
Okay.
It's they don't want to play another game, and they don't want to just play Space Marine versus Space Marine.
Sure.
But I know some guys that are like an hour north of me that I've actually started gaming with, and it's been a minute since I gamed with them. I've had problems, but they were into Horus Heresy really big. So I mean, it's nothing to make a phone call and say, "Hey, you want to play?" Yeah, sure. Saturday, Sunday, couple weeks, next week, and we could do it. But I put all my money into 40K. I don't have extra money.
So now,
since I stopped doing 40K, I got enough money to buy all these other freaking toys that I got laying around the house now.
So it would be a bad.
Welcome to Same Time Toys, guys. Fresh off of freaking a Warhammer.
Dude, I'm looking at your logo right now. It's literally like I made it a Blood Angel with his big wings, and it says Same Time Toys, and it's all in red. And he's got the iron halo behind his head. So I think you'll like it. So, but
it'll probably be my logo, brother.
Dude, this is Dude, I'll send after this. I'll send it to you on Instagram, and then you can. I'll send you the JPEG.
Definitely. Hell yeah.
But so you're okay with the direction that they're going, right? You don't feel like the changes that they're making to Warhammer 40K are detrimental to the IP.
Yeah, put it this way: when the prequels came out for Star Wars, this was my opinion of it. It's his story. Let him tell it his way. It's not how I would have told it, but go for it.
Sure.
And if I know a couple guys that write stories for the Black Library. I mean, I don't know. It probably couldn't be too hard, right? And you'll get there, man. There's so much Warhammer in here from the last 20 some odd years. It's just at some points it just oozes out of you. I know guys that they're so into it. They write fan fiction, for God's sakes. And I know a couple of guys that write for Black Library, because they're so into Warhammer.
Dude, I feel like I got yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I bought my first special edition Black Library book. Right, I think it was
I saw that
a month ago. Yeah,
those are hard to get your hands on. You got to order them quick sometimes.
Correct.
They sell out quick. There's only so many.
Oh, this sold out. I had to buy
around the world,
dude. I bought the special edition Garrow Knight of Grey, right, which is part of the Horus Heresy series. That was an awesome book. The leather I'm looking at it right now. It looks so awesome. It has like metal Inquisition sign on the cover.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Yeah, dude.
So they
do it
announced.
right. There's a reason they charge you $200 for them bastards. They're
Dude, this
selling
thing.
right.
So this one that I bought. I got to do an unboxing and I'll put it on YouTube. So I bought this one. This is the Emperor's Gift, which is my favorite. I think that it says Black Library. It doesn't say the book, but anyway, it's the Emperor's Gift, and it's definitely my favorite Grey Knights book. Right. So it was a no-brainer when they announced the special edition that I was going to buy it. Right. And I was telling T3 about this.
Yeah.
Where I was so angry at Black Library for this because they announced in the beginning of December that's going to become, or into November, that there's going to be a special edition of this. And I immediately knew I wanted it, right? So I'm like, whatever. Like, I'll get it. Trying to find out where they had the special edition, like where they were selling it, right? And what the time was, there's no information. Nothing. I finally found a Reddit thread, right, with where they were selling it, and then it was confusion because there was it was first going up for sale in England or the UK at 10 a.m. their standard time. So I was like, does that mean US is going to be going up for sale? So I made sure I was up at 10 a.m. their time. Okay, so it's like 5 a.m. our time. Right. And so I was like, and there was nothing there. So I was like, screw it. So I went back to sleep, and then I woke up 5 hours later for 10 a.m. our time, and I went to the site and nothing again. So I went back to sleep. Nothing again. Went back to sleep. And then I was like, I gave up. I woke up later on and I checked eBay, and of course, people have it up on sale from England, right? So from the England's one. And then all of a sudden, I went to the website again, the link that I had from Reddit, and it said it was sold out in America. I was like, you son of bitches. So I went on to eBay. I was like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. So that's why I got the versions of it. So that's cool.
People.
No, go ahead.
People in the toy community carry on about scalpers. They know nothing of scalpers. You're just scratching the surface, man. You don't even have a proper itch yet.
Dude, that's why, and now you can see it. That's why
I think it's gorgeous.
Dude, that's why I love the JOYTOY figures, because
look at that thing.
Dude, I don't have to deal with these scalpers with these, right? Because they'll go up for pre-sale.
Well,
I'll order them, and then I get them. I don't have to worry about it.
It's the limited edition stuff that comes straight from Games Workshop. That's the books, the artwork. Some stuff will be there forever. Some stuff at the drop of a hat and it's gone. There's queues that are set up and you still can't get the stuff that you want.
Oh, I know. I have first-hand experience from that, dude.
That's what 10th edition. That's what happened. You know, they're phasing out. They're phasing out these models.
Yeah, they're all Primaris. Yep.
For these models, you know, they're getting rid of Firstborn Marines for Primaris, and you know what? They call them Primaris, but it was true scale is what they were going for in the game.
Sure.
Because now Space Marines are bigger than Guardsmen.
Yes.
You know, and because if you look, you know, that's
correct.
That's two models back to back. One's definitely bigger than the other. You know, but they had to make it right in the lore.
Correct. JOYTOY did it accidentally. I don't know how they did it, but they made Firstborn as part of their first line, I guess you could say, the way you explain it. And then they came out.
They were trying it out to see if it would work, you know, and then they did the Space Wolf riding the Thunderwolf, the Thunderwolf cavalry model. And when that came out, I was like, oh shit, I got to get one. And when that first dropped, I was like, I got to get one of these. And I knew better. And then they came out with the Primaris Marines, and they came out with like their Mario Kart go-kart thing, and I was like, shit,
dude, I was so angry that has not come out for the Blood Angels. Why do they came out for the Black Templars. They obviously came out for the Space Marines. I think they came out with the white consoles version, and I think they came out with the white scars. I'm sorry, white scars, and I think they came out with Space Wolves version. I'm not sure, but they never came out with the Blood Angels. The Blood Angels need that.
Dude, your two favorite armies, man. I'm sorry, dude. You chose poorly.
At least I got enough. You see the size of that Redemptor?
Rich lore, but they're like the ugly stepchild of Warhammer. I don't know what it is. Like Blood Angels, it always takes forever to get a good model to come out. Finally, we got the new Dante, and just son of a bitch. it takes forever for Blood Angels, and then Grey Knights, they got your army's going to last a long time because they probably won't make new miniatures for that for a long time.
It's going to be weird. How are they going to make Primaris Grey Knights from a lore perspective?
They're not. They can't. They explain that in the lore.
You can't explain that.
It doesn't work. And when...
And their GC comes directly from the Emperor.
Marines to the Black Templars. The Black Templars shot the Primaris Marines. They killed them. They were abominations to the Emperor's work. So
I can see that.
Got to work double time to figure out how to make that shit work, brother.
Dude, they got the 10th edition. So they have the 10th edition Codex for the Grey Knights coming out later this year. So I'm obviously going to get it because I love the lore. I love reading that stuff. But like
the lore and the codexes it's par none because it takes you in incremental steps and then there's an overall story. Codexes are great. I mean, they really are. They stuff a lot of fluff in them because you're not going to spend $50 on 10 pages of rules.
Correct. And that's thank God they do that because that's what I want it for.
Right. I feel the same way.
One of the funny things was so anything for Grey Knights I'm buying, right? Like for Star Forge, like I'm buying like the Caldor Drago rigs, even though those things don't fit my hand. I don't give a shit. Like if it's Grey Knights, I'm buying it. Right? It's at mine. So I was telling T3, I was looking on eBay. I guess it was about a month or two ago, and I came across something that if it was Grey Knights, I would already have right now. It was the Death Watch book from the RPG game, and it was all metal, and it was a special edition. It was $850. It's still up there now. And it has metal chains, and it's all metal, and it looks unbelievable. They're so lucky I'm so lucky that it's not Grey Knights because I would have spent the $850 on that. And bought it immediately. Dude, that thing is so cool looking, dude.
Right? Yeah. Man,
oh my God.
Where it's at, brother. Grimdark is everything I ever wanted out of sci-fi. The dystopian future? No. It's much worse than that.
Dude, like I said, what I'm gonna do is this stream on Sunday nights is gonna be what I think I would like to do is have each of you guys on. We're going to start with, again, we'll have you on again because I want to have a better interview with you and I want to be able to share the stuff. Maybe I'll do Streamlabs, I don't know. And then what I'd like to do is after I get you individually on, I'd like to get a show where we have maybe once a month or weekly, depending on your guys' schedules, where I get everybody on and we're all talking, like we'll all go around and we'll have a T3 came up with this idea where we'll talk about specifically like the Grey Knights, or we'll talk about the Cadian forces, and we'll go around.
So ain't nothing wrong with that, brother.
Exactly.
My channel was gonna be a Warhammer channel, and I just happened to.
Well, I got the logo for you now. Turn it
back into toys at the right time.
Oh, before I forget, so the other thing, so this year, 2025, is definitely the year. I know I started it after I had the brain surgery, but this, I'm really pushing for. Like it's easy because it's so much fun doing the YouTube thing and doing content and doing stuff like this because it kind of justifies me having the toys behind me. That's the whole point. Like I've always wanted to do this and I'm buying shit and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make like this thing. Now I'm actually doing it. My wife's like, stop it. Like I've actually chopped down my spending tremendously for what I was doing. But here's the other thing. I bought a cosplay outfit of the Grey Knights
Right.
Interceptor.
Oh yeah.
So
no,
that's
I mean,
being
you told me
made.
a long
It's
time
being
ago
made.
that was
Yep.
coming, and yeah.
It's being made right now. No, I don't think because I have to go to Europe during June, and I think that's not going to coincide with. I think it's going to coincide with the Joe Con. So I'm not going to be at the Joe Con. What I'm planning on doing is, at the very least, to be at the Legions Con in November by me, and I'm going to be in the Grey Knight cosplay, and then I'm going to go to I'm going to go to New York Comic Con in October. And I already talked to my brother-in-law who goes to New York Comic Con each year. I'm like, you're going with me. You paint Space Marines. I'm literally gonna walk around as a Grey Knight. He's like, dude. He's like, you don't understand. Like, just some people can take pictures. Dude. Like, the whole point of it is, and I was talking to, who's also on this chat here, Mr. Ink. He's a huge Blood Angel fan, and he's making his own cosplay outfit of the Blood Angels as a Blade Guard. And so, like, I know there's going to be so many Ultramarines there. And so
you go to those big cons and they show up. I've been to smaller cons down here and seen Warhammer cosplay. Like when you see Warhammer cosplay, you're just like, that's so badass.
So let me ask you a question. So I'm only about 6 feet tall. I'm getting I'm not going to be on stilts, right? It's only power armor. I'm going to be about 6'4" in the cosplay. Do you think that's
tell
okay?
Everybody you're an Inquisitor. Okay. Just that's all you got to do, because they have power armor the size of human beings.
Dude, they have Terminator armor.
The Inquisition gets that.
I have a comic that shows the graphic novel. This woman from the Inquisition. She threw on Terminator armor. And I was like, what?
Yeah, right.
What the hell? She had a hard on for the
but yeah,
the Dark Angels. I'm like, yeah. So again, this is the first time with the stream. Like, I wanted to iron out some stuff. What I think I'm gonna do is next week I'll do. I gotta talk to the guy and see if I can fix some of this stuff up. I have everything the way I want, but I want to make sure that I have you guys on. But
you
again,
know what happened tonight, and that's what tonight was, just to figure it out. So
yep, absolutely. So, all right, so it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I know that you just got home from work a little while ago. Again, if you have a this week, what am I going to do? I'm going to have the latest issue of White Dwarf. I'm going to put out a review of. Right. Oh, by the way, do you like those? I'm trying to see if there's anything like, are you okay with the reviews of the magazines of the White Dwarf? Because again, for me, it's just, I'm like, this is cool as shit to actually have a physical copy, dude.
That was the last one I got.
Dude, you can't get them. And
that was the last one I got.
Did you have a subscription?
That was because it had the rules for the what's it called? The World Eaters Army.
Oh, okay. So now, did you have a subscription to the magazine, or you just, where did you buy it from? The hobby store?
A long time ago, I had a subscription to Warhammer or to White Dwarf, and I got a couple models. You know, I renewed it for much longer than I should have. You know, you'll get past it eventually. I mean,
sure.
It's a great magazine, but then it starts becoming repetitive. It does.
Sure.
But, you know, you used to get rules and stuff in them, and those are the issues you go out, and Barnes & Nobles carries it. So, you know, if I hear one's coming out,
you go pick that there. You'll pick that specific one.
A Games Workshop store. You need to find one in your area and go to it.
There's one in the city, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck, of course there is. But that's how you're going to get your special edition books and all that. You're going to tell them, hey, I want this, order it for me, and they'll...
Oh.
And you'll bypass the online
the bullshit.
Because they're...
G3 was saying that.
They deal direct. Sometimes they won't get stuff, and sometimes they will, but you don't know until you ask.
I get it.
Like, dude, I'll throw you $20.
Fuck yeah, dude. Absolutely. So this week I'm gonna have the Raven Guard review come out. for the JOYTOY figures. I got Shrike and I got the Intercessors, which came out. It was it came out a couple of years ago, but that's the one thing about my reviews that I'll say with the JOYTOY figures. I'm not going to be a part of the rat race. Like, it's okay if that's what they want to do.
There's so few people doing what you're doing with just JOYTOY that you're fine. Don't worry. And I do it with Marvel Legends. Like, I'll get a legend that, shit, he's 3-4 years old. Hey, this is my review. This is what I think of this figure.
Correct. And so I'm going to put out the Raven Guard review this week. I also have the updated. They came out with the new Tyranid one, so I got to finish that review. I'll put that one out. The next issue of White Dwarf I'll put out this week, and then I want to do the review of the special edition for the Emperor's Gift. So I'll put that out, and then I'm going to start to put out, once they come back from Chinese New Year, they're going to start to send me updates as they make the cosplay outfit. So I'll put those up on as a short. I'll put those up on Instagram and on YouTube Shorts.
Oh yeah.
So that
dude.
That should be pretty fun. So, dude, there's so much shit, dude. That's the one thing that's awesome about Warhammer. Like, compared to, and there's nothing wrong with G.I. Joe. There's nothing wrong with Star Wars. I want to make sure that everybody understands that. But Warhammer's new to me.
I didn't even have to move. I didn't have to move.
Dude, oh, by the way, so this.
Oh, wait.
Hold on, I gotta show you something.
There's another one.
This. I know you can't hear me too great. Now this, so I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's called Stromax Customs. Oh, that's cool, dude.
Okay.
So he does
land speeder that they've gotten rid of. You can't use these in tournament anymore.
Oh, you can't? Why not?
They got rid of it.
Period across the floor.
Got to buy new stuff, man. You can't play the old stuff. You got to have the new stuff.
So wait, are land speeders in the game?
The new drugs are better than the old drugs.
Wait. Because in Battle Sector, I remember playing the what you're showing, right? So is that in the game just a newer version of it, or they took it out of the game? Period.
They have a Primaris version of a land speeder.
Okay. So they can't. Okay, I get it. I see. So this is let me see if I can get this over there. So this is by Stromax Customs. So this is a classified G.I. Joe custom hit and run. And so he's my favorite G.I. Joe.
Look at you go.
So I bought this. Awesome. He was like $200. But Stromax Customs makes awesome shit, dude.
That was the first G.I. Joe I bought when we moved to Florida.
Oh, dude, he's so awesome, dude. I got to do a review on him, but like, there's so much.
Oh God,
Warhammer
yeah,
stuff.
You're gonna freak out the classified community. Come on, you know you are. You were part of all that. You know, yeah. I remember.
So
I remember when you first said, "I'm gonna make a Warhammer channel," and you were on Punk in the freaking chat or something. I was like, "This is the first time Punk did go crazy on somebody saying they're gonna make a channel. What's going on here? Who's this guy?"
Dude, I'm telling you, dude.
I've been down since day one. I was like, "Dude, do it, Warhammer, yeah!" And I was still, I don't want nothing to do with it.
Dude, I'm telling you that my plan is to get everybody into, because the biggest problem, dude, that's so awesome. The biggest problem is the like with the secret level episode. I'm hoping now that people who outside of, like, even if you like G.I. Joe, to get some people who are interested in Warhammer. Oh my God, those are definitely red books. How many
times I've read these books? Yeah,
those are definitely red books. Definitely red books.
I love it,
dude. But my whole thing is I want to get, dude. The whole point I made, the whole reason I made this channel, and I told T3 this, was because I bought the Black Legion figure from JOYTOY. Right? I bought one. And I was like, let me try it out. Let me see. And I was like, oh my God, I got it. I was like, this is amazing. Like the articulation, like the paint apps, everything. I didn't know anything about it. And then I tried to go to other channels, and I literally was throwing super chat
There's
like
nothing.
$100
You
at
and
other
far
people.
between.
Dude,
You and far between, man.
nobody would talk about it. I was throwing like $50 super chats. I was like, please talk about it. No, they'd be like, oh, this looks cool. Okay, let's go into the next thing.
No, they don't. They don't know. Like, we're so wrapped up in miniatures, dude. Like, we don't have time for Joy Toys.
That's
Can
what
you
I'm
play a
saying.
game with a Joy Toy?
That's what I'm saying.
And that's
So-
what we're gonna do.
Even
That's
from
what
the
we're gonna do.
yeah,
you know?
that's what I'm saying. So even from the toy community
When I come
people.
up there, dude, I'm gonna wear you out.
So
I'm gonna wear you out.
my final question of this is this to you from a Warhammer fan. What is it going to take for the people who are playing Warhammer to get into the JOYTOY figures, to really get into the JOYTOY figures?
I don't know.
Is it Kill
I don't
Team
know.
being played with the JOYTOY figures officially?
Dude, I think if we start doing that, or because I've seen, I don't know if they were Joy Toys or if they were the McFarlane figures.
I feel like they were the McFarlane. I know what you're talking about. Yep. Yeah.
They were the McFarlane ones that they did. But
Yep.
I think with these Joy Toy figures, I'll come up and we'll play a couple games, and then you'll know what to do, and you can play against yourself. You know what I mean? It's just set the table up, do what just do what you do. And it'll be something. It really will be. I mean, because they're so articulate. You can get them to do so many dynamic things.
Oh my God, dude! I know.
You know, because they're more articulate than a Joe. I mean, and
They are.
the stuff that Legend Series is doing with Joe figures and the stuff I'm trying to do with them, it's Joy Toy's gonna just be amazing. You know,
Dude,
the
that's
stories
awesome.
you can tell on a battlefield. You know what I mean? Just you're gonna have a blast, and it's just. Like I said, man, you haven't even started. You don't even have the proper itch yet. And look at you. Look at you. Look at you. The wife's already mad. Trust me. My wife just said, you don't get to keep your paycheck anymore.
Thank God I make enough money. That's not his question.
Oh my God, right, dude? Oh my God.
Dude, look at. I don't know
You're
if you
not doing
see
it on my salary, buddy. I'll tell you that.
Look at the Furiosa in the background. You got the Tyranids in the background and the Redemptor Dreadnought. Dude, I forgot how big the Redemptor Dreadnought was until I busted him out.
I can't wait just to come freak. It's gonna sound wrong. I can't wait to come fondle your toys.
Dude, and what's scary is I still have about 15 JOYTOY Blood Angel figures in my garage that I still have to, like, after I do the review on, when I do the review on Sanguinius, I'm gonna bust all those figures out, and then I still have another 50 Tyranids from the McFarlane to do. So I'm gonna do a huge diorama with Sanguinius and recreate Ball, but the return of Sanguinius during Ball, whenever, I don't really care. But then I have all these Custodes figures. I have these, dude, I have so many figures to open. So many.
Trust me. Yeah, you're gonna need 2-3 sheets of plywood.
Dude, we're moving. We're gonna look for a new house at the end of this year, and I need a bigger goddamn room for my shit.
Need a 4-car garage, buddy. A 4-car garage.
Oh my God.
No
Dude.
cars. Just
So
you're gonna have to.
So here's what I'll promise to you. Next time we do this, there'll be a better stream setup. So this is the first time doing it. And we'll have Crow on, we'll have T3, we'll talk more about the specifics, like we'll have a nice subject. But this was a good, thank you for coming on, Shane. I do appreciate it, dude. Take a look. Hopefully I'll send you over the logo for your channel if you want it, right? I'll send you over the JPEG. And then
Cool.
if you want any additions, if you want to change anything, let me know and I can change some stuff to it too. So, but I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, and we'll do more of this. We'll talk more about Warhammer. This will be something, like I said, in the future, I'd like to have this as a weekly thing with you guys, and we'll start moving forward with it. So, cool?
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. No
All right.
worries, man. There's a reason why I sent you $100 coin when I first met you. Come on.
Dude,
I'm
I got
behind
it
you.
right here. Dude, I got it right here. I got the dude.
You get those coins for spending $100 at freaking a Games Workshop store.
Yep, I got
He's
the
like,
Grey
very nice. I'm like, you know what? I got one of them coins just sitting on the shelf.
Yeah, dude, this thing is awesome. So have a good night, dude. Thank you for jumping on. Guys, thank you for watching. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Again, we'll check out during the week. I'm going to do more live streams for Space Marine. I know I was going to play Space Marine 2 tonight, but it's too late right now. I need to get to sleep. So there'll be more Space Marine 2 streams this week. And I have a ton more content coming as well, just because it's so much, dude. It's not even hard. I'll tell you, YouTube is not hard, dude. Once you understand how to edit and you understand what you're making, like it just starts roll. Like that's why I'm not gonna sit here and talk forever. But listen, thank you guys for watching. We'll talk again. Have a good night, guys. I'll talk to you later. Later, guys.